The exciting story begins with a man named Jack, who is found unconscious in a desolate place. When Jack regains consciousness after a while, he finds a strange machine on his hand. The shocking part is that Jack has forgotten all his memories, even his own name. He finds a photo of a lady in that place but is unable to recognize who she is. While Jack is sitting there, some criminals on horseback approach him. They plan to kill Jack and steal everything he has, but things turn out completely differently. The criminals attack Jack, and in self-defense, he begins fighting back, killing all of them. Jack is astonished at his own fighting skills, as he manages to defeat all the criminals in a very short time. He then takes one of their costumes and a gun, gets on a horse, and rides away. While continuing his journey, Jack arrives at a nearby village. He enters a secluded house, hoping to find some help. As Jack is investigating inside, a man named Mitchum, holding a gun, comes toward him to shoot, believing that Jack is a robber who has come to loot his store. When Mitchum asks who he is, Jack explains that he has lost all his memories and was injured, needing medical attention. Mitchum, after hearing this, realizes that Jack might need help. He lowers his gun and takes Jack inside to treat his wounds. While treating Jack, Mitchum notices strange marks on his body but ignores them and focuses on stitching up his injuries. After a while, Jack starts feeling better. Mitchum tells Jack that he works as a doctor in this area. However, their conversation doesn't last long, as the sound of gunshots comes from outside. It is later revealed that Percy, a local thug, has arrived with his gang to attack. Percy is known for robbing people and killing them. Hearing the gunshots, Doc, a man with his wife, comes outside and tries to calm Percy down. Doc is very upset about what is happening. Since Percy never paid for the food whenever he visited their restaurant, Doc tells him to leave. However, Percy, already enraged, attacks Document. To intimidate him, Percy fires shots around Document. Mitchum, wanting to help Doc, rushes out, but Percy attacks him too, stealing all his money. Everyone is terrified of Percy's behavior. Percy then notices Jack, who stands bravely without fear. Percy approaches Jack, demanding all his money. But Jack, very courageous, attacks Percy in a way that causes him immense pain. After a moment, Percy regains some composure and points a gun at Jack, but Jack is not afraid, knowing Percy is just bluffing and isn't really capable of killing anyone. Jack then walks away without fear. Soon after, Jack and Mitchum are captured by the sheriff. The sheriff tells Percy that his crimes have escalated, and now he will imprison him for life. While the sheriff is about to take Percy away, one of Percy's men runs up, shouting that he will go tell Percy's father everything, implying that it will lead to even worse trouble for everyone involved. Next, we see three men sitting by the riverbank, enjoying themselves, equipped with weapons and horses. They had stopped there after a long journey. Suddenly, one of them goes down to the river to drink some water when a powerful explosion occurs. The explosion knocks him into the water. After regaining his balance, he emerges and sees that the entire area has been destroyed. Both of his companions are burned to death, and their horses and weapons are also destroyed. The mysterious man is left in complete confusion about what just happened. This remains an unsolved mystery. Meanwhile, Sheriff Percy is brought back to jail. The sheriff tells Percy that his crimes have escalated so much that he will spend the rest of his life in prison. But Percy laughs and responds, saying that it won't be long before things change. As the sheriff, named John, ponders this, his attention is drawn to a wanted poster, and to his shock, it's of none other than Jack, the most wanted criminal. John suddenly remembers that he had seen this man in a nearby village. So, John takes his officers and heads to the village to capture Jack red-handed. Meanwhile, Jack is at a local bar, the only place in the village where people gather to have fun. A girl named Hella is watching him from a distance for a while. She approaches Jack and asks about the strange device on his hand, but Jack, unsure of its significance, changes the topic and begins talking about something else. At that moment, John and his officers enter the bar, surrounding Jack and demanding that he surrender immediately. They warn him that the consequences of resisting will be severe. However, as the officers approach, Jack fights back with remarkable skills, taking down each of them without firing a single shot. Instead, Jack uses some unknown and unique fighting techniques, never seen before in that place. In no time, he defeats all the officers and leaves them unconscious. Jack now holds a gun and points it at John. But just as he is about to act, Hella, the girl who had been observing him, suddenly strikes Jack on the head. The blow causes Jack to fall unconscious. In this state, Jack starts having flashbacks, visions of his old home and his beautiful wife, who had been looking at him. However, Jack has forgotten all these memories, and the sudden flood of these visions confuses him, leaving him in a daze. A little while later, when Jack regains consciousness, he finds himself in a jail cell. Percy, who is locked up in the cell next to him, laughs when he sees Jack and taunts him, saying that Jack has now joined him in the same prison. Percy starts bothering Jack, but Jack, fed up, punches Percy and knocks him unconscious. Meanwhile, in the forest, a dangerous man named Wally is interrogating the only survivor of the explosion. Wally asks the man where his two other companions are and what happened to their weapons. The terrified man replies that he doesn't know anything. He had gone to drink water, and when he returned, the entire area had been destroyed for some unknown reason. Wally is furious with the man, as the loss of his crew members weakens his power. To punish the man, Wally ties him to a horse, intending to let the horse drag him to his death. Soon, two men on horseback arrive and inform Wally that Sheriff John has captured his son, Percy, and sentenced him to life in prison. This revelation shocks Wally, as he learns that Percy is his son. Determined to save his son, Wally sets off toward the village with his men. He decides to make the man who survived the explosion suffer as punishment by tying him to the horse and leaving him to die. Meanwhile, Sheriff John orders Percy and Jack to be moved from the jail to a different location. They are placed in a secure horse-drawn carriage, which is supposed to take them to another prison. As the carriage moves, Hella appears and approaches Jack, asking him to reconsider leaving. It seems as though she knows Jack from before and is trying to convince him to stay. Before they can continue their conversation, Wally and his men arrive. Wally confronts Sheriff John and tells him to release his son, or he will face death. John responds that this is impossible because Percy has committed crimes. As soon as Wally sends his men to kill John, a series of bright objects appear in the sky. These unknown objects turn out to be alien spaceships, which begin attacking Wally and everyone on the ground. The alien ships cause widespread destruction, setting everything around them on fire. Not only are the aliens killing people, but they are also pulling some of them into their ships. To everyone's shock, they abduct Maria, Doc's wife, as well as Percy and John. Wally desperately tries to save his son but is unsuccessful. In the midst of this chaos, Jack's mysterious device activates. At first, Jack is confused about what it is, but after inspecting it more closely, he realizes it might be a weapon. Using the device, Jack frees himself and stands in the open field. Several alien ships approach him from the sky, but Jack aims and fires the device, causing one of the spaceships to be damaged and fall to the ground. Wally witnesses Jack's actions, but soon after, all the spaceships begin disappearing into the sky. Wally, impressed by Jack's abilities, approaches him and asks him to join his team in order to help find his son. However, just as Jack starts to move forward, they hear a woman screams from a house nearby. In the shadows, they spot the same dangerous alien that had been killing people. As they enter the house, the alien flees into the forest. Wally, seeing Jack's skills, insists that he work with him, but Jack, uninterested in working for anyone, rejects Wally's offer and rides off on his horse to continue his journey. Jack is determined to find out the truth about the strange visions in his mind, hoping to learn more about himself. As he moves forward, he notices that Hella has been following him. Realizing she's been trailing him, Jack decides to confront her and capture her. Jack, now not wanting anyone's company, tells Hella to leave, and she, disappointed, has no choice but to go. Meanwhile, Wally gathers all his people in the village, planning to attack the aliens and rescue his son. Mitchum and Doc join him, as Doc wants to save his wife. Wally's team grows larger, and with confidence, they set off towards the aliens. Unbeknownst to them, Hella is still following them. On the other side, Jack continues his journey and arrives at an isolated house. It's a house he recognizes from his visions, his own house. Inside, he is confronted with strange memories, where he sees himself bringing gold to his beautiful wife. The couple is overjoyed, thinking they no longer have to face poverty. But suddenly, the gold catches fire on its own, and an unknown force pulls Jack in. Looking up, he sees the same dangerous aliens who had broken through the roof and abducted his wife. Jack, unable to save her at the time, now realizes that the real enemy is the aliens. Determined, Jack mounts his horse and heads directly towards Mitchum and the others. He tells Wally that he will join them in their mission to defeat the aliens. The group proceeds confidently, and soon they spot a massive alien spaceship. They begin infiltrating the ship to rescue the people who had been abducted. Everyone takes their positions, with Doc learning how to shoot from Mitchum. Hella approaches Jack, bringing him food, and as they talk, the mysterious device on Jack's hand activates. Jack realizes the aliens have arrived. Inside the spaceship, a child wandering alone encounters a terrifying, mutated alien. As the alien is about to attack the child, Mitchum arrives and opens fire on the alien. However, the alien turns its attention to Mitchum, not sparing him either. Jack quickly intervenes just in time, using his device to fire at the alien, causing it to retreat in fear. However, Mitchum is badly injured, and in his last words, he urges Jack to save the abducted people, passing on the responsibility to him. The next day, Jack and the group bury Mitchum's body and continue their journey. As they approach a rocky path, they are suddenly surrounded by a group of bandits. One of the bandits, Hunter, demands money from them. But when Hunter spots Jack, he is shocked, recognizing him. Hunter calls Jack boss, remembering that Jack was once the leader of their gang before losing his memory. Although Jack doesn't remember this, he decides to play along, pretending to be the leader. Hunter takes Jack and his team to their hideout, where they meet Bat, the new leader of the group. Bat challenges Jack to a fight for leadership. Bat immediately engages in combat, but he stands no chance against Jack. Using the weapon in his hand, Jack strikes Bat, killing him instantly. The remaining bandits now begin to chase Jack and his group, intent on taking them down. As Jack and his friends flee through a vast area, they are suddenly attacked by alien spaceships, which seem to know Jack is armed with a weapon that can hurt them. Jack uses the device to destroy several of the spaceships, but more than half manage to escape. Just as they think the danger has passed, one spaceship grabs Hela and pulls her aboard. Determined to save her, Jack races after the spaceship, jumping onto it with his horse to rescue her. Jack uses the weapon to destroy the alien spaceship, causing it to crash into a nearby river. He manages to pull Hela to the riverbank, but as they reach the shore, a dangerous alien emerges from the wreckage and throws Hela aside, killing her. When the alien attempts to attack Jack, he uses his weapon to destroy it. Devastated by Hela's death, Jack tries to save her, but by the time he reaches his team with her body, Hela has already passed away. Jack is overwhelmed with sorrow because Hela was the only one who had supported him throughout. As Jack mourns, a group of indigenous tribespeople surrounds them. They take Jack and his group to their village, where they begin a ritual by setting Hela's body on fire. To everyone's shock, movement is seen within the flames, and after a short while, Hela is resurrected, walking towards Jack. It turns out that the tribespeople performed a ritual to bring her back to life. Hela, now revived, shares that she is not a normal human but comes from another planet. She explains that the aliens attacking them were the same beings that had previously invaded her planet, spreading terror and attempting to take control. She suggests they need to work together to defeat these aliens. Wally, also determined to fight the aliens, pledges his support. Hela then informs them that they must first locate the aliens, and only Jack has the knowledge of their whereabouts. The problem, however, is that Jack has forgotten everything about his past. To help him recall, the tribespeople give Jack a strange liquid. After drinking it, Jack experiences a vivid vision, where he sees himself on board an alien spaceship. He recalls how the aliens had abducted him and his people, revealing a crucial part of his past. For the experiment, Jack's eyes were slightly open, and he saw that the aliens were conducting an experiment on his wife. Due to the experiment going wrong, Jack's wife's entire body had burned. The aliens then approached Jack to conduct an experiment on him as well, but Jack managed to escape, tricking them. While escaping, Jack ended up with the advanced device of the aliens in his hand. After leaving the spaceship, Jack's mind revealed the location where the aliens had established their headquarters, from where they controlled all their activities. Following the location, Jack brought Hela and the others to that place. It was an alien headquarters, half underground and half above ground. All the other spaceships entered this headquarters and were upgraded. The aliens' main objective was still to control humans like puppets and conquer the entire Earth. After seeing all of this, Jack told his friends that they would need many more people because their numbers were too small, and they couldn't fight them. Jack came up with an idea and immediately rode off on his horse in a different direction. Volley and the others thought that maybe Jack had abandoned them and wouldn't help them. But Jack went straight to his bandit friends for help. As a leader, Jack explained to all the bandits that they had to work together, or else the aliens would destroy the entire Earth. On the other hand, the tribespeople were saying that they didn't want Volley to lead them. They all wanted to be free to do as they pleased. Just then, Jack appeared with a large group of bandits. Seeing so many allies with Jack, everyone was excited, and they gained confidence in fighting the aliens. They decided to attack the alien spaceship the next morning. As night fell, the tribespeople started performing a very old ritual. Jack went to Hela and had a conversation with her, where she revealed that she couldn't stay on Earth forever and that she had to return to her own planet. Jack, for some reason, became very emotional and kissed Hela. After the kiss, Hela told him not to try doing that again. Jack, feeling very disappointed, walked away. The next day, they all gathered and began moving towards the headquarters to attack. The plan was that all the tribespeople would stand on the rocks, and their job was to destroy the spaceships flying in the sky. Meanwhile, Jack, with some of his companions, climbed to the headquarters with many bombs. They threw the bombs inside the headquarters one by one. However, as soon as they came down, the bombs exploded. The aliens, hearing the explosions in the headquarters, realized they were under attack. As a result, many alien ships came out and started retaliating using their advanced weapons. A fierce battle broke out all around. Jack and Hela had moved to a corner, where Jack was planning to enter the headquarters while the aliens were busy fighting. They saw the aliens using dangerous technology to extract and gather all the gold present inside the Earth, probably to take it back to their planet. Outside, the aliens were relentlessly attacking the humans, and it seemed like Volley and his companions were becoming weaker against the powerful aliens. However, Volley was not one to give up easily. He began fighting back with the bandits, trying to kill the aliens, but many of Volley's companions were injured and killed in the process. The remaining survivors continued to fight. Inside the headquarters, Jack and Hela continued advancing. They then saw many people who were hypnotized, looking towards some unknown light. Hela immediately warned Jack not to look at the light coming from above. But by now, Jack had already looked at it and was hypnotized as well. To bring everyone back to normal, Hela took Jack's gun and shot at the light. A large amount of liquid poured out from the light, and soon, everyone came back to their senses. Hela was continuously busy getting everyone out, but at that moment, many aliens launched an attack. Jack told Hela to get everyone out safely while he would stop the aliens. Jack increased the power of the weapon on his arm and started firing at the aliens, killing them. Within no time, Hela had managed to get everyone out, but since Jack was inside the headquarters, Hela also went in to help him. Outside, the aliens were continuing to kill people, and in the battlefield, we see a boy with his dog. The dog's constant barking caused an alien to start chasing him. The boy quickly ran to hide deep between the mountains, but the alien extended its hand to catch him. In a brave move, the boy punched the alien in the stomach, killing it on the spot. Inside the headquarters, Jack and Hela were moving forward together. Hela told Jack that she could destroy the entire place, but for that, she would need the alien device on his arm. Jack agreed, and immediately after, Hela kissed him. The alien device on Jack's arm opened up and fell off by itself. Hela took the device in her hands and started reprogramming it to cause the entire place to explode. She continued to move upwards towards the top of the headquarters, where she could trigger the blast. Jack was following her but was soon pursued by a dangerous alien. He tried to escape to save himself because now he didn't even have the alien device. The aliens kept chasing Jack. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, the boy used a telescope to see that many people were emerging from the mountains. These were the people whom the aliens had kidnapped. Each of them was sent to a safe place. Back inside the headquarters, Jack, while evading several aliens, reached a location where the aliens were collecting all the gold extracted from the ground. At that moment, the same dangerous alien who Jack had escaped from on the spaceship appeared at the location. The alien, using his advanced device, moves forward to kill Jack. The alien then moves towards Wally to attack him, but Jack, from behind, also launches an attack. Together, they manage to defeat the alien. Meanwhile, Hela had reached the core of the alien device, ready to trigger the explosion. Jack and Wally had also destroyed the devices that were extracting gold from the ground. After that, they both managed to escape from the headquarters. The aliens soon realized that these people were about to destroy their headquarters, so they tried to lift the headquarters out of the ground and escape from Earth. However, by then, Hela had activated the device, causing a massive explosion. This explosion destroyed the entire alien headquarters. In a matter of moments, the large alien spaceship was broken into pieces. Everyone was overjoyed because, after the destruction of the aliens, their families who had been missing returned. Everyone reunited with their loved ones, except Jack. He stood aside, watching everyone else happy because, no matter what, his deceased wife could never return. For the last time, Jack visits his home and places flowers in memory of his wife. Jack realized that despite putting his life at risk to help so many people, in the end, he would have to live the rest of his life alone. This story ends on a sad note,